the sharpest knives, in the middle of the darkest nights. Always knew that I would find you here, in a puddle of the bravest tears. I've seen enough to know it's lonely where you are. Above the crowd, feet dangling from a rooftop, she waits from ledges for a voice to talk her down. Nothing matters but the pain when you're alone, the never-ending nights when you're awake, when you're praying that tomorrow it's okay. There will be a time to crack another smile, maybe not today or for a while, but we're holding on to laugh. Of the sharpest knives, in the middle of the darkest nights. Always knew that I would find you here, in a puddle of the bravest tears. I've seen enough to know it's lonely where you are. Above the crowd, feet dangling from a rooftop, she waits from ledges for a voice to talk her down. Nothing matters but the pain when you're alone, the never-ending nights when you're awake, when you're praying that tomorrow it's okay. There will be a time to crack another smile, maybe not today or for a while, but we're holding on to laugh again someday, to laugh again someday. All that matters is the time we had. Doesn't matter how it all went bad. Never wonder what it might be like. Shut the door, say goodbye. When faced with tragedy, we come alive or come undone. So don't look back, let it shape you like an ocean. Even the deepest scars in time will fade. Nothing matters but the pain when you're alone, the never-ending nights when you're awake, when you're praying that tomorrow it's over. another smile. Maybe not today or for a while, but we're holding on to laugh again someday. To laugh again someday. Sometimes you have to go back to know just where you've been. When we're old enough to know that what has been will be again and again and again. Of faces are the ones where we fake it, and the roles that we play. Nothing matters when the pain is all but gone, when you are finally awake despite the overwhelming odds. Tomorrow came. And when they see you crack a smile and you decide to stay a while, you'll be ready then to laugh again. Nothing matters but the pain. We are tragedy. We are sin. Nothing matters but the pain. When you see what you want to see. Nothing matters but the pain. We are misery. Nothing matters but the pain. We all learn to laugh again. Yeah, we all learn to laugh again. We all learn to laugh again.
I have decided to stick with love. I'm concerned about a better world. I'm concerned about justice. I'm concerned about brotherhood and sisterhood. I'm concerned about truth. And when one is concerned about that, he can never advocate violence. For through violence you may murder a murderer, but you can't murder murder. Through violence you may murder a liar, but you cannot establish truth. Through violence you may murder a hater, but you can't murder hate through violence. Darkness cannot put out darkness. Only light can do that. And I say to you, I have also decided to stick with love, for I know that love is ultimately the answer to humankind's problems. I'm going to talk about it everywhere I go. I know it isn't popular to talk about it in some circles today, and I'm not talking about emotional bosh when I talk about love. I'm talking about a strong, demanding love, for I have seen too much hate. And I say to myself that hate is too great a burden to bear. I have decided to love. If you are seeking the highest good, I think you can find it through love. Hey everybody, it's Caleb Hiles here. Good to see all of you here this evening for the Stick with Love concert. For those who did not know what that passage was, that was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He wrote many different letters throughout his life, and that was just one of them that he entitled, I Have Decided to Stick with Love. So, yes, it is a special night. It's a special occasion. I've been wanting to do a concert for many reasons as of late, and a couple of people who are here who've been to some other live streams I've done or been to my Twitch channel know that I've had intentions of doing a concert very soon. Initially, the concert was going to be just for conventions. It was to make up for the fact that when I go around the nation and the world, I go to conventions and I sing and I meet people who want to meet me. But I haven't been able to do that because of the global pandemic. So I've been at home, like most of you. So that's what I was going to do. A concert for everybody who couldn't come out to my convention performances because conventions were being canceled. And then COVID-19 happened. And so I was thinking, or rather, that was currently happening, so I was going to do that. That's what the plan was. And then these past 2 weeks unfolded before the world, and particularly before the United States. I'm also going to have to figure out how to turn off these notifications or super chats as they were. Oh, can I pause? Oh, I can mute the event sounds. How nice. And then those events occurred over the past 2 weeks that have been extremely highlighted. And it shifted what I wanted the concert to be about. It was no longer a concert just for, oh, wow, look at all the chat. The chat's like exploding. I think something tells me that my Streamlabs OBS finally figured itself out, and now it's like the most insane looking thing ever. Okay, I think it figured itself out. There we go. That's good. Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you, Streamlabs. It was going to be a convention concert for people who couldn't come to conventions, and then it was going to be a concert for COVID relief, raising money for that. And then the past weeks, 2 weeks occurred, and this concert has now become a charity, a concert for so many different, very important causes that I'm so excited to highlight and share with all of you tonight. I've spent most of this week and a little bit of last week planning and preparing, because I think we do a lot of talking in these situations, and that's fine. Talking and awareness is great, but there has to be a point where that translates into action. So what I'm trying to do tonight is to make you all aware of a variety of different nonprofit organizations that you might actually find speak to you personally, something that you're convicted about, something that your heart breaks for, that you might actually want to invest a little bit of your time and maybe some of your income in to help them out, especially. So while this stream will deal with a lot of very specific racial issues, the nonprofits that I'll be showing, it'll also be dealing with first responders and essential workers. And it'll also be a concert to make up for the fact that some people haven't been able to see me live. So I made a set list. I see a lot of you in the chat suggesting songs, and I am so grateful for your enthusiasm. But tonight's a little different, as I have chosen the songs to sing. And maybe at the end, depending on how many are still around, if my voice is still here for it, then we can do some suggestions. But there is a curated list, so to speak, for the evening. I'm also using a new mixing board. It's the Mackie Pro FX6 version 3, or Pro FX. So I'm trying things out. I can have effects on my voice, and I'm just trying to see. Those may or may not improve the experience, but we're trying things out. So feel free to kick back, throw me up in a tab, turn the volume down, or turn it up, put it on the big screen, whatever you want to do. I just want this to be a night of laughter, fun, and sharing, and bringing awareness to some issues and some causes that maybe you will feel convicted by. If there's any golden night, it's to maybe show you something that you weren't aware of before, and share some information that you just didn't know about. So I will start off the night singing a song. That's what I should do. So I, at a lot of my conventions, I would open with a Broadway track. I loved opening convention performances with Broadway music. So I wanted to do a Broadway song for y'all for this. Pardon, let me make sure this is open. For this stream, this concert. I didn't think I'd have to look very far because I tend to keep this one really close by. But for whatever reason, it is eluding me. I also see a lot of people posting like hamburger pictures. I'm not quite sure what that means, but hamburgers. Yes, I do love hamburgers. All right. This song is from a musical called Rent and dealt with a lot of different topical issues during its time. So, this song is called One Song Glory. It's opening a video file, so it'll take a minute. Hello. There we go. Ooh, I like that. That sounds nice. Ooh, that's pretty. One song, glory. One song before I go, glory. A song to leave behind. Find glory. One last refrain, glory. From the pretty boy front man who wasted opportunity. One song, he had the world at his feet. Glory in the eyes of a young girl. A young girl. Find glory beyond the cheap colored lights. Glory like the sunset. One song on another empty life. Time flies, time dies. Glory, one blaze of glory, one blaze of glory. Fine, one song, a song that rings true, truth like a blazing fire, an eternal flame. Find glory, a song about love, glory from the soul of a young man, a young man. Find the one song before the virus takes hold, glory like the sunset. One song to redeem this empty life. Time flies, and I don't need to endure anymore. Time dies. Whew. Ooh, that song. Oh, man, every time I sing that song, I get the biggest chills. Oh, my gosh, like that song just works me up. It's so gorgeous. Oh, what a beautiful song. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you for the love in the chat. And by the way, just so everyone's aware, even if you can't stay for the whole thing or you're just in here to say hi, this will be available for viewing after the fact. This is not going to be a stream that disappears. It's going to be public. So if you have to leave, please feel free to come back and check it out after the fact. It will be a VOD. So, Drewing was asking, Diego, you're asking how have I been? How have things been on my end? They've been good. I've been very fortunate in this time to be provided for and very safe. My family is safe and healthy. So I don't even feel like I have the right to complain. And I don't want to, frankly, especially not on a night like tonight. Maybe come out to a Twitch stream or two, and I'll vent a little bit to you about what's maybe some things getting at me. But right now, I am as content and as at peace as I can be, and I think that's a right that everybody should have. Is a search for that contentment, a search for that peace. So one of the things I'm going to do throughout the night, everybody, is in between songs, I'm going to raise awareness for a cause that I personally found very fascinating and one underrepresented, especially over the fact whether it's racial inequalities or helping a particular community of color, or it helping essential workers, or helping those who are on the front lines dealing with whatever issues it may be. So one of the first things I want to talk about, actually, to y'all, one of the first organizations, and by the way, every single organization I'm going to talk about is in the description below. So if, like I said, you feel convicted in any way by any of these, you feel like pulling at your heartstrings to want to give, these organizations are in the description for you. I have personally given to all of these organizations over this past week, so please feel free, if you see one that you like, that you want to participate in as well. I thought my power went out, just like went out. So I had to close down a lot of my documents. The first one I want to talk about is actually one that's pretty close to home because I've been to this location so many separate times. Oh my gosh, I can't tell how many times I've been here. But let me read a little blurb from their website so you can understand what I'm talking about. This is the Rosa Parks Museum over in Montgomery, Alabama, which is where I grew up. Some call Montgomery, Alabama, the heart of the civil rights movement. But let me explain a little bit about what the Rosa Parks Museum is. Troy University, which, by the way, is a college in Alabama, in Troy, Alabama. Troy University's Rosa Parks Museum is an active memorial to the life of civil rights icon Rosa Parks and the lessons of the Montgomery bus boycott that brought racial integration to transportation and international attention to civil rights. It's located in downtown Montgomery, Alabama, at the site where Miss Parks was arrested. It is the nation's only museum dedicated to Rosa Parks. Our mission is to honor her legacy and that of the boycott by providing a platform for scholarly dialogue, civic engagement, and positive social change. So, if you don't know who Rosa Parks is, or even if you do, and maybe you didn't even know that Rosa Parks had her own museum, I encourage you to research Rosa Parks, her legacy. She only recently passed away, I think within the last decade, I want to say. So she lived for a very long time and was extremely influential. I know growing up in Montgomery, Alabama, I heard about Rosa Parks every year. So she was definitely an icon that was very much drilled into our memory. So that's one that I wanted to shout out. They do a great job over there. I've been there several times. And if you go to Montgomery, Alabama, you can't miss it. It's a one-of-a-kind experience. All right, so the next song on the list is one that's actually very, very, very relevant. And I'll make a brief announcement about this. And essentially, I mean, there's more to this, but there are some songs. In fact, I started the stream off with a song that some of you haven't heard, or a cover you haven't heard. And this is another one of those songs. It's a cover that you haven't heard yet. It's not going to be released on the channel, but just to let y'all know, this is one of those songs. It's for a project, but it's so relevant right now. The song is called Violence, Enough is Enough. It was written by a metalcore band called A Day to Remember. Now, even if you don't know the song, you're thinking, Caleb, are you about to scream, and is this about to be a heavy song? No. This cover album involved me taking songs and changing their genre completely. So this version of Violence, Enough is Enough is completely different than the original song you've heard. And if you've never heard the original song, I still hope you enjoy this rendition of Violence, Enough is Enough by A Day to Remember. Testing. Yeah, that's that good echo, that good reverb.
I've been feeling like everything is for nothing. In fact, I've never felt so small. Always searching for the bright side to find the strength for when I fall. I'm still believing that life has a meaning. Can't cope with thinking that there is not. I'm so divided that I try to hide, and it's the only real thing that I've got. So when the world outside can see what's wrong and right, people can understand the reasons that we fight. Something's gotta give. Violence, give me violence, 'cause they say we're the worthless ones. Substance, give me substance. Heavy lies the crown as I cut you down. Violence, give me violence, 'cause 'cause they say substance, give me substance. Heavy lies the crown as I cut you down. You can call this a warning, it's a warning that we're drowning in our malcontent. Tear me down like a cancer, what's your answer? We're different and it makes you sick. There is a sadness here on every corner, it's in our hearts. Dear God, don't want to trouble you much, but we all need to know when enough is enough. So when the world outside can see what's wrong and right, people can understand the reasons that we fight. Something's gotta give. Violence, give me violence, 'cause they say we're the worthless ones. Substance, give me substance. Heavy lies the crown as I cut you down. Violence, give me violence, 'cause they say we're the worthless ones. Substance, give me substance. Heavy lies the crown as I cut you down. You only get one chance, and that's one too much. What's the world gonna say when I call your give me violence, 'cause they say we're the worthless ones. Substance, give me substance. Heavy lies the crown as I cut you down. Substance, give me substance. Heavy lies the crown as I cut you down. So that is Violence, Enough is Enough from A Day to Remember. Very different song. If you are original, or if you're aware of the original and know how it sounds, then you understand how polar opposite that is of the original song. But the thing is, that's the thing I love about some new core or metalcore bands, is they actually have extremely thoughtful lyrics. But unless you're a frequent listener, an apt listener of metalcore and people who are screaming, you'll miss a lot of the lyrics. You'll miss a lot of the substance of the songs. So I wanted to make sure that song wasn't missed. It's lyrics, it's poignancy. Excuse me, a lot of burping is going to happen because I'm drinking a spicy water, also known as sparkling water, and I'm also taking in a lot of air. Like this line, you can call this a warning because it's a warning that we're drowning in our malcontent. Tear me down like a cancer. What is your answer? We're different and it makes you sick. And I was like, that's such a great freaking line. Such a great line. But you never know unless you knew. You never know unless you know. And by the way, to everybody in the chat, just to make sure, I know a lot of people are asking questions, and I just want to make sure that it's understood. I'll probably repeat this a couple times throughout the stream, but I'm not going to be answering too many questions right now in the chat. So I appreciate your engagement, though. I don't want to discourage engagement, but I appreciate your love and the questions. But there will be a time later for taking questions of what's going on. But right now, we're just going to keep the concert moving along. But thank you very much for your enthusiasm. Yes, spicy water, absolutely. All right, so the next organization I want to point out to y'all is one that's oh wait, I forgot I put these out in a different order and where I am. This next one is the Equal Justice Initiative. Like I said, all the links to these organizations, nonprofits, are down below in the description. So
Equal Justice Initiative is a private nonprofit organization that provides legal representation to people who have been illegally convicted, unfairly sentenced, or abused in state jails and prisons. We challenge the death penalty and excessive punishment, and we provide reentry assistance to formerly incarcerated people. Equal Justice Initiative works with communities that have been marginalized by poverty and discouraged by unequal treatment. The EJI is committed to changing the narrative about race in America. And I think that song we just sang segues perfectly into EJI's. I can't remember, I'm having trouble saying EJI. Like, I want to say EG. EJI, Equal Justice Initiative. If that's encouraged you or convicted you in any way, like I said, please check out the description and read more about who they are and their mission. There's plenty more. I just picked a paragraph. I found a paragraph that I think represented them well and used that, but there's so much more to all of these organizations. And if you feel like any of them are reaching or speaking to you, please do go and check them out. All right. Pardon me. Next song is another one from the album that I was talking about before, of covers that are sort of redone or different. But alongside in that album that'll be releasing at a much later date are songs that I just personally like that would never be successful on my YouTube channel because they're not well known. So I do hope that people will at least listen when I release the album, listen to the songs, even if they've never heard them before. But this next song is it's called Empty House, and it's from the band Relient K. I love Relient K. I've loved them since their inception back in like 2001. But the song is multifaceted and its inception's a little weird. I'm not going to spend too long talking about it, but essentially it's about someone losing a loved one. And I think it has a lot more undertext meaning to it, but essentially someone losing a loved one and wrestling with the fact that they are alone. And there's a lot of, this is all relevant to the times. Anyway, let me set things up here. I'm changing it to a new effect. This one is Cathedral. Wait, that's Concert Hall. I want Cathedral. There we go. Much better. Well, not that much better. It's not a Caleb stream if he's not messing up and goofing around. All right, let's see. Where'd it go? Empty House, there it is. And for those who do know Empty House, you know then the lyrics were never actually finished. So I finished the lyrics.
There was this time when I was thinking about the road inside, and you would think that I was self-absorbed. You've been the smile on my face,
I had to change things around. I'm gonna restart. I messed up my own lyrics, and I got confused. There we go. Ha. Ha. Hello. Ha.
There was a time when I was thinking about the road inside, and you would think that I was self-absorbed. And everything about you, everything I think about you, blind, I am crazy now. There's just some days when all this time to get myself right cannot fix my heartache, yeah. I swear I give and take until the wells run dry. An empty house, time to get myself back home. Nothing but an empty house, living without you. An empty house, time to get myself back home. Nothing but You've got this thing about you, everything I think about you is gonna go and make me something else. You've been the smile on my face for what seems all of my days. And you believe it's true, and I believe it too, and everything's gonna be alright when you say I got this thing about you. An empty house, time to get myself back home. Nothing but an empty house, living without you. An empty house, time to get myself back home. Nothing but an empty house. Nothing but an empty house. Nothing but an empty house. There was this time in my life, you had this minute, but it lasted oh so many days. And I know I've lost count, but everybody knows that you're about to flutter away. And that's the last time I could say it with a straight face. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. And baby, I don't wanna do it unless you're.
Empty House from Reliant K. It's the jump in the note. Da na 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 na. That's hard. I'll work on that one. Thank y'all so much for all the love in the chat, and thank you so much for being here and showing up and making it a special night. The next organization on the list is a bit more, like I said, we're covering a lot of different topics, several different nonprofit organizations, and the idea behind Stick With Love, the concert, and especially because I haven't done a concert like this, considering all of the events that have taken place since the beginning of the year, I wanted to highlight many different nonprofit organizations and something that might encourage you to go out, find a place where you can help. And this next one, actually, let me close that other one. It's called Oxfam, but let me close down the EJI. There we go. So let me read a little bit about what Oxfam is. Nearly 1 out of every 3 of us lives in poverty, but we see a future, Oxfam, in which no one does. Excuse me. The way we see it, poverty is solvable, a problem rooted in injustice. Eliminate injustice, and you can eliminate poverty. We're not saying it will be quick or easy, but it can be done. We won't patch a problem and then disappear. We won't stand by silently and watch others suffer. Instead, we stand together against injustice. We recognize our responsibility to hold the powerful accountable. We see people's power to change their lives. It disturbs us that in a world as plentiful as ours, many of us go hungry or don't even have clean water. Many of us around the world can't claim our human rights. It's wrong, and together we aim to do what's right. If any of that interested you or anything within that, Oxfam is in the description below. Check them out and consider donating your time or some of your income. The next song on the list, I haven't done this one in a very long time. I did this song live back in 2017 at MechaCon because it was right after Chester Bennington's death from Linkin Park. I think it happened the week prior to going. I might be completely wrong on this, but it was very fresh on a lot of people's minds because, if, as some of y'all know, some of you here are anime fans, Linkin Park and anime kind of go hand in hand. And I know there's not some scholarly study on it or any sort of empirical evidence I can prove from. I only have my anecdotal experiences and my tiny little focus groups that are not professional in any way or scientific. But I'm willing to, I'll die on the hill and say that Linkin Park has had an influence over many people in this chat's life, and especially in the anime community. So whenever that happened, right on the heels of leaving to go to this convention, I wanted to do a song from Linkin Park because I adore Linkin Park. So I decided to do the song One More Light, and I figure now is a great time to bring that song back. So, let's see here. Let me turn my effects back up. This song is called One More Light.
Should have stayed were the signs I ignored. Can I help you not to hurt anymore? We saw brilliance when the world was asleep. There are things that we can have but can't keep. If they say, who cares if one more light goes out in the sky of a million stars? It flickers, flickers. Who cares when someone's time runs out? If a moment is all we are, or quicker, quicker. Who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do. The reminders pull the floor from your feet. In the kitchen, one more chair than you need. Oh, and you're angry, and you should be. It's not fair. Just 'cause you can't see it doesn't mean it isn't there. If they say, who cares if one more light goes out in the sky of a million stars? It flickers, flickers. Who cares when someone's time runs out? If a moment is all we are, or quicker, quicker. Who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do. Say, who cares when one more light goes out in the sky of a million stars? It flickers, flickers. Who cares when someone's time runs out? If a moment is all we are, we're quicker, quicker. Who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do. I do.
One More Light by Linkin Park. Man, such a good song. If you have a chance and you have the capacity to watch the last concert that Chester did singing that song, it's very illuminating and moving, and I think important, because it sort of shows when it comes to a depression of any kind, and especially in this case acute depression, how invisible it can seem, how completely undetected it can feel. It really truly is an invisible enemy, so to speak. And if you can bring yourself to watch it, I do think it's important. But yeah, love that song. All right. So by the way, just as a FYI, for the concert, we do have a lot of these sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Emotional songs, songs with a purpose, and have them feel a bit more serious. I don't want this entire concert to just be super, super serious. So I do have levity built into the concert. I promise I do. And that comes a little later. In fact, it's actually going to start in one song after I do this one. But just so you know, it's not going to be all this. There's going to be a couple of songs that you definitely know 100%. And I'm excited to do those for you. So let's keep moving right along to the next nonprofit organization. This one's a little harder to read, but it's Team Rubicon Disaster Response. Did something just ring? The heck? Something just went off and I was like, what the heck was that? Is it my doorbell? No. Anyway, let's read about Team Rubicon. Team Rubicon is an international nonprofit disaster response organization that unites the skills and experiences of military veterans with first responders to rapidly deploy emergency response teams, free of charge, and to communities affected by disasters. Team Rubicon currently maintains a roster of 65,000 volunteers able to deploy throughout the United States and the world. To maintain integrity, Team Rubicon maintains complete records of volunteers, hours worked, and work orders so to assist local, county, state, and tribal governments in applying for federal public assistance grants. So, wanted to highlight an organization that is more than likely very active in the midst of this global pandemic and definitely needs people's help. So if disaster response, boots on the ground kind of thing is your sort of like getting to work, nitty gritty sort of response interests you, Team Rubicon is a great organization that definitely helps out a multitude of people in maybe some of the most trying times. The next song on the list is a bit of a goofy one, but also, as I've gotten older, their lyrics and their songs have not just become fun. They're not just fun to sing anymore. They have a purpose and a point, and now I'm seeing it with older eyes, and I'm like, oh, shoot, these songs make sense now, and I can't avoid the fact that they make sense now. And so there's this innocence gone, but but I'm enlightened, right? And I feel like I'm more clearly seeing what these songs mean, so I'm enjoying them even more. But when I was thinking of doing this concert and bringing awareness to certain issues and what songs am I going to sing, for whatever reason came to my mind, it was like, you should sing Green Day. You should sing Green Day. I don't know what you sing from Green Day, but you should sing Green Day. So I was looking through the catalog, and I think a lot of people would want to hear maybe the more American Idiot kind of side of things. But I'm not trying to be that on the nose. So I wanted to go, and also I was trying to like throw back to Green Day, like some Dookie era, like Minority kind of thing. So I picked out the song Warning, which maybe some of you haven't heard because the song Minority on the album Warning blew up so much. So it was hard. Warning kind of went under the radar. So if you haven't heard the song before, although it might ring some bells, it's a fun song, but it's saying something important. It definitely is a warning. It's a cautionary tale of a song. And I do hope you enjoy it because I think it's a fun song nonetheless, a bit of a dancey track. So I hope you have a good time. Also, it allows me to use this vocal effect, which I'm so stoked for if you can't tell. Check this out. What if I added distortion to my vocals? Also like singing through a radio. But it's like, come on, it's Green Day. You got to have some like flange in there. So, this song is called Warning from Green Day. And I hope you like it, and I hope it works. That's what I'm really wanting to make sure that it all works out. Hold on. Da-da-da. Why did I pull that window out? Just go right in there, please. There we go. All right, let's give it a shot. Oh, I forgot. You gotta, like, turn things up, Caleb. My gosh, Caleb, you're trying. Hey! Let's go. This is a public service announcement. This is only a test. Emergency evacuation protest may impair your ability to operate machinery. Can't quite tell just what it means to me. Keep out every your children, don't you talk to strangers. Get your philosophy from a bumper sticker in warning. Live without warning. I said a warning, live without warning. Without, alright. I like the sound effect. Better homes and safety sealed communities. Did you remember to pay the utilities? I did. Auto-pay. Caution, police line, you better not cross. Is the cop or am I the one that's really dangerous? Sanitation, expiration date, question everything. Or shut up and be a victim of authority. Warning, live without warning. I said a warning, live without warning. I said a warning, live without warning. I said a warning, live without warning. Without, alright. Police line, you better not cross. Is the cop or am I the one that's really dangerous? Sanitation, expiration date, question everything. Or shut up and be a victim of authority. Warning, live without warning. I said a warning, live without warning. I said a warning, live without warning. I said a warning, live without warning. This is a public service announcement. This is only a test. That's fun. Oh, I had a good time with that one. Oh, man. I love his voice. I freaking love Billy Joe's voice. He has such a fun time with it. It's fun to emulate. Whew. I wish I had the chorus. Pasha, police, I better not cross. I am the radio. No one listens to the radio anymore. I don't listen to the radio. It's an accident if I do. I say that as a kid who had a dad who worked in radio for 30 years. It's just times have changed. Times have changed. I thought of adding times they are a change into the set list, but I couldn't learn it fast enough, and I didn't feel like it would be true if I did a song that I didn't, I didn't know very well or have any sort of attachment to in any way. All right, so on to the next nonprofit organization. This one is Vitamin Angels. So let's read a little bit about Vitamin Angels. Like I said, every single organization that we've talked about tonight is in the description. If any of them interest you at all or speak to you, please go and check out in the description, read more about them, and find a way that you can help. It doesn't have to be, a lot of these organizations have ways in which you can help if you can't financially help. Sometimes just an email or a message their way actually opens up a lot of opportunities of how you can help where you're at right now. So here's Vitamin Angels' blurb. Most governments offer health and nutrition services intended to meet the needs of their citizens. But despite their best efforts, limited resources often constrain their ability to do so. Unfortunately, those who need services the most tend to go unreached. And that is where the Vitamin Angels come in. Vitamin Angels partners with local, nonprofit organizations who provide health and nutrition services to underserved women and children. They seek to support only those initiatives that are complementary to and coordinated with existing national health services. So they come in and provide vitamins to established organizations who maybe just need a little bit of a boost and something to think of it like they're like they back up already established organizations. So it's like the sixth man, right? If you're thinking in basketball terms, NBA is coming back, baby. If you're thinking in NBA terms, like you're the sixth man off the bench, you are crucial to the team. You have to be there. The winners and losers will be decided by who has the best sixth man always. So think of the Vitamin Angels like a sixth man of nonprofit health organizations. So it's like a little way to help. It's some people like to kind of sit in the background and do things quietly without being noticed. They're not looking for any attention at all. Sometimes a lot of people would very much like to be a part of something like the Vitamin Angels in that way. So I've done a lot of songs today that are either very, very topical or serious or emotional, and there will still be a couple of those. But we're going to transition now into maybe some more things that y'all know and know my channel for and are just a bit more lighthearted from topics that you're aware of. So, pardon me. So this one is from Steven Universe, because I haven't done Steven Universe yet, and I definitely want to. So, this track, I always do Steven Universe in my concerts. Can't not. Excuse me. Let's do Drift Away. Or as some people like to call it, Drift Away. You can call it whatever you want. Sure I get these lyrics right.
Here in the garden, let's play a game. I'll show you how it's done. Here in the garden, stand very still. This'll be so much fun. And then she smiled, that's what I'm after. The smile in her eyes, the sound of her laughter. Happy to listen, happy to play, happily watching her drift away. happily waiting all on my own under the endless sky, counting the seconds, standing alone as thousands of years go by. I'd be wondering night after night, is this how it works? Am I doing it right? Happy to listen, happy to play, happily watching her drift away. You keep on turning pages for people who don't care, people who don't care about you. And still it takes you ages to see that no one's there, see that no one's there, see that no one's there. Everyone's gone on without you. Finally something, finally news about how the story ends. She doesn't exist now, survived by her son and all of her other friends. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that cool? And isn't it cruel? And aren't I a fool to have happily listened, happily stayed, happily watching her drift, drift, drift away. And that was Drift Away. Now, in the spirit of what I do at concerts, I'm just going to jump right into the next song. Whew. Pardon me. Let's go. Well. Let me get a look at the menagerie. You must be amethyst. You must be garnet. And pink diamonds, pearl. Well, she took you with her. Isn't that just swell? But it can't be. Oh, but it can be. And it is. I've got a new style and a few new toys that are gonna put an end to your happily ever after once and for all. Whoa, this has got to be a misunderstanding. In case you haven't heard, I've established... Yeah, I've heard. I've had your little message to the universe on loop. I just love that part, where Pink Diamond spends the rest of her days on this nowhere planet with a bunch of nobodies. That's right, I heard the story over and over again. Gee, it's swell to finally meet her other friends. That's right, I heard the story, don't really like how it ends. Gee, it's swell to finally meet her other friends. What did she say about me? What did she say? What did you do without me? What did you do? Did you play games without me? What did you play? Did you think all this time that I wouldn't find out about you? Oh, that's right, I heard the story over and over again. Gee, it's swell to finally meet her other friends. I came from the garden alone. She told me that I was her own. She walked with me, talked with me, made me feel I was at home. But thousands of years they go by, just happy to stay and play nice. Allegiance to her I had sworn, but this time it had turned to a rose full of thorns. Who am I? Who am I? What are you even saying? I'm the loser of the game you didn't know you were playing. Let's play another game, this time I get to win. Life's on the line, winner takes all. Ready or not, let's begin. That's right, I heard the story over and over again. Gee, it's swell to finally beat her other friends. Oh, that's right, I heard the story, don't really like how it ends. Gee, it's swell to finally beat her other friends.
Whew! Other friends, everybody, from Steven Universe. Is the meme dead yet on TikTok? Is it dead yet, or is it still going? Like, is it... everything on TikTok, I imagine, was like Vine, but like way, way, way sped up, like on a rocket ship. I assume it's gone. That's fine, though. We keep, that's the thing with trends nowadays. You keep moving forward, you find new things, you laugh at new things, you adapt. That works. I'm going to write. Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. I'm saying that as though someone's contested me, but no one's contesting me. Oh, yes, it actually is. Okay, so it's still going on. I like Steven Universe. Unlike some other shows that I've covered before that I'm either not a fan of the show or I have yet to see it, I love Steven Universe. I will keep singing Steven Universe, whether that song's popular or not. Just because I had a cover do very well does not mean I'm cashing in. I promise. I was covering Steven Universe long before that, and I love, love, love the show, and I will keep singing it because I love it so much. The camera isn't shaking, that's me hitting my table, and I'm hoping I'm not disconnecting everything by doing so, which wouldn't surprise me if I did that. Alrighty. Let's keep moving on, though. Let's look at some more nonprofit organizations that you may have not heard of before. This one was really interesting to see, and I think so many people have never heard of this one. This is called Black Girls Code. Imagine, build, and create. Here's the blurb about them. And this is speaking from the chief executive's position, so this is them talking. When I was first introduced to computer programming as a freshman in electrical engineering, Fortran and Pascal were the popular languages for newbies in computing, and the Apple Macintosh was the new kid on the block. I remember being excited by the prospects and looked forward to embarking on a rich and rewarding career after college. But I also recall, as I pursued my studies, feeling culturally isolated. Few of my classmates looked like me. While we shared similar aspirations and many good times, there's much to be said for making any challenging journey with people of the same cultural background. Much has changed since my college days, but there's still a dearth of African American women in science, technology, engineering, and math professions, an absence that cannot be explained by, say, a lack of interest in these fields. Lack of access and lack of exposure to STEM topics, STEM being science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, by the way, and a lack of access and a lack of exposure to STEM topics are the likelier culprits. By launching Black Girls Code, I hope to provide young and preteen girls of color opportunities to learn in-demand skills in technology and computer programming at a time when they are naturally thinking about what they want to be when they grow up. That, really, is the Black Girls Code mission: to introduce programming and technology to a new generation of coders, and coders who will become builders of technological innovation and of their own futures. Imagine the impact that these curious, creative minds can have on the world with the guidance and encouragement others take for granted. I have several friends who code for a living, work in information technology. So when I saw this one, I was like, absolutely. This is absolutely something I got to talk about, because if there's anything that the friends I've talked to who work in this department talk about, it's stability. It's stability, both you having a job, something to go to, so your schedule is stable. Therefore, you're able to kind of form your life around it a bit easier, and then they're obviously financially stable. So learning, as the chief executive officer put here, that it's in-demand skills. And this is something that is crucially important. And to the topic that she brought up about STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, boy howdy, I came from Montgomery, Alabama. The Montgomery public school system still to this day struggles greatly with its own curriculum and how to present topics such as science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. I was a failure at math. Absolute failure. I just got through it. That's all there is to it. And when I say got through, I'm not talking I made a B, or in heaven I made an A, and I'm just like, it was hard, but I made D's. I made D's the entire time, and I made high C's to pull those D's up to some form of like, I can pass and keep going through. So when I tell you, and I'm taking some of the blame. I understand. I'm not trying to just push all responsibility onto the MPS. I was not the most focused child. I more than likely had some form of an undiagnosed ADHD still to this day. But nonetheless, the curriculum needed to be changed for someone like me. So definitely this is an initiative that is very important for anybody, and particularly Black girls coding with this. I think that's a really great initiative. They also are setting up a Black boys code, and that's coming soon. That's coming later, though. That's in their initiatives. So like I said, that's in the description. If that interests you at all, feel free to learn a bit more about it. They also have some cute merchandise, if you're curious about that. And feel free to donate as well. And there it is, right there. Okay. This next track that we're doing is... Okay, back to really fun tracks. This one is, I do this one at concerts because it's so much fun to do. And also because randomly, it's like the third most listened to song on all streaming platforms, save for YouTube. For whatever reason, this song on Spotify and Apple Music is like just the bomb diggity. People listen to it all the time. So I feel like I have to do it at concerts, and surprisingly enough, people are like, oh, that's where I know him from. People will come up after concert and be like, I remembered you when you sang I'm the Bad Guy, which is the song we're doing. So I'm like, I gotta cover this, so I gotta put it in all my concerts now. Alrighty. Did I put it in the folder? I think I did. I did. Is this the right? Do I want this one? Is this the effect I want? What about a warm hall? Ugh, I don't want to be in a warm hall. I don't know if I want to be anything particularly warm right now. It's really hot here in America. Let's just go with that one. Four was good. I liked 4. All right, this is I'm the Bad Guy. Just kidding. I always forget to turn my volume up. That's happened every single time.
I'm not the damsel in distress.
I'm not your girlfriend or the frightened princess.
I'm not a little bird who needs your help to fly.
Nope!
I'm the bad guy.
All these former villains that you see,
Each of them with shaking knees has knelt before me. So I'm not your teammate or your partner in crime.
What am I, boys?
oh, it's magic to watch a planet shrivel up and die. Oh, it's thrilling to be a villain. I destroy their homes and then I watch them cry. 'Cause I'm the bad guy.
Well, actually,
I'm not the bad guy. I'm just a bit surprising. It's not worth losing sleep. It's not worth analyzing. There was a time not so long ago at all. I was just like you. Can you hear my call?
Oh, ain't it fantastic? I see something, I blast it! And let me tell you why.
I've always had a weakness for barrenness and bleakness.
I destroy their homes and then I watch them die.
See, I find this business rather fun.
I won't destroy your nation or your adulations. I'll vaporize your galaxy
And bid you bye-bye. What?
Come on, guess! Well, girl. That's a fun one. What a fun little ditty that one is. I actually just thought of a track I want to sing. Just thought of it. Right then and there. Crazy. Crazy how that works. There's more songs from that, right? Like, there's more songs from Wander Over Yonder. Definitely not. I'm not like, that can't be the only one. Huh. Alrighty. I had another song on the set list, but I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna do this song next instead. But let's keep the night moving right along with the next nonprofit organization. So, like I said, we're gonna cover a myriad. I'm covering a myriad of different nonprofit organizations with cover a slew of different issues. This one, especially, what I was gonna do when the concert was just gonna be conventions and COVID relief, was I really wanted to highlight essential workers. Because if I'm of the belief, if I'm being serious to myself, I really think that it was so proof positive that without essential workers, we don't have a functioning country. Here in America, or frankly, any country that needs these kinds of workers, if they're not there, we don't function. So I find it extremely important that we take time to focus on and work towards giving essential workers a wage in which they can live on, no matter where they are in the United States, no matter which state government they fall under, something that they can exist on, live on. And I'm not talking just survive, right? I'm talking live. I'm talking explore their thoughts, explore minds, explore other parts of the world, explore the United States, go to sleep and not be worried about what they're going to eat tomorrow. That's the kind of wage I'm talking about. What that wage looks like, I don't know. Just that, though. That's what I want. So one of those I wanted to highlight tonight is the St. Christopher's Trucker Fund. Truckers Relief Fund. And that's also in the description down below. So here's a little bit about them. Studies have shown that more than 70% of the 3.5 million professional truck drivers in the U.S. have one or more serious health problems ranging from obesity, diabetes, sleep disorders, all the way to cardiovascular diseases. Truck drivers also lack the same access to health that most Americans enjoy. Access is limited because drivers work very irregular hours, spend long durations away from home, and are unable to navigate side streets and parking lots in their trucks to get to clinics, pharmacies, and hospitals. Compounding the problem is the fact that more than 1/3 of truck drivers do not have health insurance. The unfortunate result of these circumstances is that drivers are often unable to get treatment in these early stages of these diseases, allowing the condition to progress to a much more severe state. Minor illnesses become severe, leading to hospitalization and disability. The driver then may lose his or her commercial driver's license and become unable to work. This creates a downward spiral that leads to extreme financial hardship. The St. Christopher's Truckers Fund helps over-the-road / regional semi-truck drivers and their families sorry, I just skipped a thing there. The Trucker Fund helps over-the-road / regional semi-truck drivers and their families when an illness or injury has recently caused them to be out of work. Assistance may be in the form of direct payment to providers for household living expenses such as rent, mortgage, utilities, vehicle payments, and insurance. The St. Christopher Fund provides all applicants with information on how to negotiate price reductions with medical providers and hospitals, and to provide health and wellness programs for drivers in hopes to prevent some medical illnesses. Some of these programs include health challenges, smoking cessation, and free flu, shingles, and pneumonia vaccines. So we don't function if we do not have truck drivers, period. Like, we just don't. We're not gonna be able to have much of what we have. So this one is like something I just never paid attention to. And hearing the statistic that 70% of 3.5 million of the 70% of all truck drivers, not 20, not 10%, not 3.5%, 70%. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. I know it's more than likely part of the job, because it comes with the territory of sitting for long hours, of having to focus for long hours, carrying very precious cargo to whomever wants it. That's just staggering to me. I happily gave to that one, to the Truckers Fund. So we're gonna keep moving on though. Make sure this is good right here. We only have a couple more to go, and then we will move into a different time. I'm glad you all are enjoying the concert, by the way. I see a lot of you guys commenting and enjoying the time and engaging with one another and commenting on the songs and the organizations, and I really, really greatly appreciate that. I'm glad you're having a great time. So let's move on to the next track. All right, this next one was the one I added last second here. It's another Broadway track, and it's really goofy, and I haven't performed it live in so long. Why did I take it out of my set list? I don't know why I took it out of my set list. It's really freaking fun. This one is You'll Be Back from Hamilton. So, here we go. No, we don't, because I didn't turn the volume up. There we go. Come on, Caleb, you got this. You say the price of my love's not a price that you're willing to pay. You cry in your tea, which you hurl in the sea when you see me go by. Why so sad? Remember we made an arrangement when you went away. Now you're making me mad. Remember, despite our estrangement, I'm your man. You'll be back, soon you'll see. You'll remember you belong to me. You'll be back, time will tell. You'll remember that I served you well. Oceans rise, empires fall. We have seen each other through it all. And when push comes to shove, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of my love. Da 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 da. You say our love is draining and you can't go on. You'll be the one complaining when I'm gone. And you know, don't change the subject, 'cause you're my favorite subject. My sweet, submissive subject. My loyal, royal subject. Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. You'll be back like before. I will fight the fight and win the war for your love, for your praise. And I'll love you till my dying days. When you're gone, I'll go mad. So don't throw away this thing we had. 'Cause when push comes to shove, I will kill your friends and family to remind you of my love. Da 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 da. Die 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 da 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 da. Everybody at home. Da 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 da. That was fun. That one is You'll Be Back from Hamilton. Oh, it's been fun. I miss singing that one. That's a good time. That's just a good time. I just have a fun time. I just have a fun time when I do that one. Another reason, just to further expound upon the organizations I've chosen, in a lot of cases, the audiences here on YouTube across so many different channels are just massive, like, swatch of just a variety of people, backgrounds, races, ethnicities, beliefs, expertises, passions, creativities, what have you. So I wanted to try and focus on some organizations that people actually might even be a part of and give them a moment to be highlighted and have a spotlight put on them, and that at least I can say how much I appreciate what they're doing. So that's another reason I've included a lot of people I included. Also, there are some people who are, and I noticed this, it only happened like twice or whatnot, that are super chatting. I turned off super chat for this stream, and maybe clearly there's another way to donate that I'm not aware of, but I just for complete transparency's sake, so no one thinks otherwise, I turned off super chats on purpose. One, frankly, I don't want to have any money come in because of this concert to me in any way. And if any money did, I wouldn't want to go through the process and the trouble of trying to figure out how to move that away from me. Pulling that out of my, oh my gosh, you should see like the 90-page freaking thing we get every month, the monthly statements here for YouTube. So it's just easier across the board and morally right for me to not take any money from this concert. So that's why super chats are off. That's why I've turned off any income. And also, that's why the stream started late. So here's a very quick 45-second story time. When I was setting up the stream, it gave me public, private, and unlisted. I picked public because I can show people can see it. I have the time right there, June 5th, 8 p.m. Central. They know when it's going to start. Great. But then it was like, what about monetization? And I was like, don't monetize. But there was no like, don't monetize. There was block in all countries. And I was researching, well, what does that mean? Am I going to block the video from being seen? Because I'm just trying to like don't monetize. Whatever button is don't monetize, click that one. I don't want it monetized. So I couldn't figure it out in time. So I just picked block in all countries. And so I put that thinking it meant it would block all monetization across the board, right? Like, not like block my own video, otherwise I'd put it as private. I thought it meant it would block monetization. But that's not what happened. It just blocked the video, period. So when I started at 8 and people were not commenting about the stream starting, I was like, oh, is it possibly that monetization issue I was having earlier? I go and switch it over to monetize in all countries, and sure enough, it starts up. So I'm going to have to figure that out after the stream and figure out if any money was made at all from the stream itself, and what to do with that money. Make sure to keep that, set aside and not take it, or when I get it, give it away. But that was the issue, was the monetization. I was trying to not monetize. Why is there not a simple don't monetize button for the live streams? You spent all that time making a new platform and a new interface with a pop-up menu that's supposed to simplify everything. And then I get to the, what do you want it? Public, unlisted, or private? Public. Do you want it monetized? No, I don't. Block in all countries? No, I don't want the video monetized. We're not going to give you that option. Like, oh my gosh. I was like lost my mind. But I'm glad I figured it out. I'm glad y'all were saying stuff in the chat too. Being like, hey, when's it starting? Is he running late? It's like, oh, I bet you that's it. So sure enough, that was definitely the problem. Ooh, that's good. That's good. Let's see. I'm running out of drink here. All right, I have 2 more tracks, y'all, for the night. But let's talk about the next nonprofit on the list, and then we'll have one last one later. This one, this one's called Law Enforcement Action Partnership, Advancing Justice and Public Safety Solutions. I'll read a little bit from their blurb. The Law Enforcement Action Partnership's mission is to unite and mobilize the voice of law enforcement in support of drug policy and criminal justice reforms that will make communities safer by focusing law enforcement resources on the greatest threats to public safety, promoting alternatives to arrest and incarceration, addressing the root causes of crime, and working towards healing police-community relations. The Law Enforcement Action Partnership envisions a world in which criminal justice and drug policies keep our communities safer, not more people incarcerated. Ending the war on drugs and looking beyond the criminal justice system for a range of solutions to address society's ills will better protect human rights, reduce violence and addiction, and build public respect for and trust, eroded trust, in law enforcement once again. So, there is that. This next song I'm doing is, and like I said, just as a reminder, if anything sticks out to you, it's all in the description. Please check up and read on them on your own, learn more about them, and absolutely check everything out that you see, if anything catches your eye. So this next song I'm doing is one that's been laid on my heart personally over this past week, watching my nation really, really hurt and grieve. And I want to tell y'all a brief story. It won't be long before I sing this song, of a conversation I had with an older friend of mine that I've known since a very long time ago, and our relationship sort of fell to the wayside because I needed to do some growing personally. Frankly, there was a lot of communication issues that I struggled with when it came to this relationship in particular, and I was really not practicing forgiveness and reconciliation in any way with this relationship. But fortunately enough, over this past week with the events that took place, I was able to reconnect with this individual, and he was able to take my call. And we had this very revealing conversation to me. And I won't reveal his name or anything, but I came to him as an adult, right? I'm older now. I'd like to think I'm wiser and more mature. And I came to him no longer as just a good friend who I grew up with and had frivolities and laughter and just fun together because that's what friends do when they're younger. But I came to him as a white passing male to a black man whom I have never known any of his struggles. I never knew anything. And I was fortunate enough to be able to have a conversation with him on that level and have him share some of the things that I never knew about growing up, because I never would have thought to ask, because I was just having fun. We were just being friends. Any issues that we dealt with on the outside, we just left whenever we would hang out and be together. So but I was able to ask and was very fortunate to have that conversation because it was very revealing to me. I can no longer live in an idealized world where, when growing up, I went to an elementary school called McMillan International Academy in Montgomery, Alabama. It was right by Maxwell Air Force Base. And at any given time, we had anywhere between 20 and like 30 different ethnicities in our school. There was an initiative in McMillan to make sure that everyone who was K through 5 grew up around different ethnicities, different colors of skin. It was very important that they did that. And it was wonderful. It really was wonderful. On the flip side of that coin, I've went through life sort of living in this idealized world that I wasn't completely cognizant of the fact of the issues that people of color were going through, because I think I wanted to live in this ideal world where I don't see their skin color. I've only ever known seeing people for their heart, for who they are. And selfishly, it's heartbreaking to know that I can't live in that reality anymore. And I have to know and hear about, it's important that I know that my friends are suffering in ways that I can never imagine, and that I'm there for them and able to hear them and at the very least listen, or try to understand, at the very least try to understand. And so it's been imparted on me watching all of this and seeing Christ for reform and a newness and coming together to try, and especially in the midst of a global pandemic, seeing the world and seeing America, especially us younger folk, try to do something better for the world and leave behind the world better than we found it. And I have this sense in me over this past week of hope, of spring coming, of this sunrise. That's been the image I've had. And seeing people's passion and desire for change and reform and the work and the honest work to put into it, it's really changed me. It's changed me. And I think this song really spoke out to me that I'm going to sing next is called Beauty Will Rise. And it was It's by an artist called Stephen Curtis Chapman, and it is a bit of a religious song, just so everyone's aware. I don't want there to be any. I'm not trying to sell anybody anything. I'm not trying to evangelize anybody in any way. I just think the core meaning behind this song, the idea that when something has been burned down, when something is reduced to ashes, there is a chance for newness to come from that ash. There's a chance for rebirth. And I think that's something that many people can get behind in essence. So I want to sing this song for anyone who's hurting through all of this, and for a nation that is wanting to change and be reborn and frankly be born again, born better than it was. So this one's called Beauty Will Rise. Where'd you go, buddy? There it is. I didn't forget to turn the volume up this time.
Was the day the world went wrong. I screamed till my voice was gone, and watched through the tears as everything came crashing down. Slowly panic turns to pain as we awake to what remains, and sift through the ashes that are left behind. But buried deep beneath all our broken dreams, we have this hope. Out of these ashes, beauty will rise, and we will dance among the ruins. We will see with our own eyes. Out of these ashes, beauty will rise, for we know joy is coming in the morning. In the morning, beauty will rise. So take another breath for now, and let the tears come washing down. And if you can't believe, I will believe for you, 'cause I have seen the signs of spring. Just watch and see. Out of these ashes, beauty will rise, and we will dance among the ruins. We will see with our own eyes. Out of this darkness, new life will shine, and we'll know joy is coming in the morning. In the morning. I can hear it in the distance, and it's not too far away. It's the music and the laughter of a wedding and a feast. I can almost feel the hand of God reaching for my face to wipe the tears away. You say it's time to make everything new. Make it all new. This is our hope. This is a promise. This is our hope. This is a promise. It will take our breath away to see the beauty that's been made out of the ashes. Out of the ashes. It will take our breath away to see the beauty that He's made out of the ashes. Out of these ashes, beauty will rise, and we will dance among the ruins. We will see with our own eyes. Out of this darkness, new life will shine. For we know joy is coming in the morning. In the morning, beauty will rise. Beauty will rise. Oh, 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 beauty will rise. Oh, 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 beauty will rise.
That was Beauty Will Rise from Stephen Curtis Chapman. That song is always, always convicting when I hear it. The song was originally written for those who, because Stephen Curtis Chapman's, one of his daughters passed away unexpectedly in a car accident. And he wrote a whole album called Beauty Will Rise, going through that process of grief. And if you've experienced incredible grief, unspeakable grief, one that even in your mind when it speaks it brings great turmoil, Beauty Will Rise is an album that doesn't evangelize. It doesn't make any doesn't try to lay it on thick. It really is just a man grieving and struggling with his beliefs. So, if that's where you are, I greatly suggest Beauty Will Rise album. I think it's a moving and impactful and changing album. And thank you guys for all the hugs. I was seeing a lot of hugs come out, so thank you for that. That's very kind of all of you, because it's been intense for everybody around me, and it's been a very life-changing month. I wanted I just want to change to be a better servant. I want to be able to serve people more than I serve myself at all times. And to those who with much is given, much is expected. And that's what I try to be. That's what I want to be. That's where I want to be. All right. So with all that being said, I am out of drink. Thank you all. Thank you everybody very much. I am good. My family's good, and we're all good over here. We're all good on the Hiles front. No worries here. To something a little bit more lighthearted, but potentially maybe even more emotional for some of you. We're on to the final song of the night. Just to let everybody know, there's going to be a brief post show on my Twitch account. I will be posting the link to my Twitch account in the, you know what, can I add it to the description? Because that would be extremely helpful. Oh, I can. Look at that. Let me put that at the bottom below. All right, so out below, wait, that's the top. No, it's not. Below the organizations, the nonprofits, I have posted a link to my Twitch. After this concert, after the song, I'm going to take a brief 5-minute break just to get some water, cool down, and then I'm going to hop over to my Twitch channel, and it'll be a Q&A, because many of you have asked questions, and just general questions about life, or what I think about what's going on, or just wanting to request music, things like that. Feel free to stick around if you have time. My Twitch channel is now in the description. It has been updated. Just refresh your page, and I'll post it in the chat box as well, and we'll be doing a Q&A post-concert wrap-up over on that side, over at the Twitch channel. So, on in the meantime, to the last song of the night. This is a very, very fun one. But before we get to that, I have to talk about the last organization for the evening. This one is called Music in Schools Today. Music in Schools provides hand-tailored music and art classes to schools and community centers. Highly skilled teaching artists from a rich diversity of backgrounds offer in-school and after-school programs including music, dance, theater, and visual arts. Music in School connects preschoolers to their classrooms, working with teaching artists they love, developed in collaboration with National Head Start as a model for national dissemination. Music Schools offers a laboratory for learning, collaborating with Johns Hopkins Learning Through Science Institute, providing powerful assessment of how music affects both language acquisition and school readiness skills, including literacy and numeracy. Music really, truly is, I can tell you from growing up in the Montgomery public school system, music has absolutely been pushed out of our public school system. Increasingly, I hear cries, especially in the job I'm in across the nation, that music is just becoming, it's becoming non-existent. It's becoming extinct. Learning music, appreciating music. And I think oftentimes music is just like another language in and of itself. And to quote my granddad, I think in a lot of ways, some truths that are too deep to clothe in words are often clothed best in music and words. So I think that this one really hits close to home because I was in choir for most of my life. Now that, mind you, that came through church, but I was also able to be in band for 6th through 8th grade, and those are treasured memories. And I learned how to play trombone, and I just had a great appreciation for music over that period of time. I wish it could have carried into my high school. So if that in particular convicts you in any way, Music in Schools today, go help them out. They're trying their best to set up their own programs outside of within the public schooling to introduce children early to music. So, with that being said, let's sing the last song of the night, everybody. This one's one of my all-time favorites. I'm so glad I included it in my convention set list, but it's just a good one. This one is called, as I pull it up, hold on. This one's called Country Roads.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, concrete road. All my memories gather round her. Miner's lady, stranger to blue water. Dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Missed a taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads. I hear a voice in the morning hour. She calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, country roads, take me home to the place I belong. Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Down country roads, down country roads. Yeah, I forgot it just like cuts off. It doesn't even like have a graceful end. It's like just doesn't even bother. Oh my goodness. Itchy, itchy, itchy. All right, everybody. Like I said, thank you so much for all of your love in the chat. For everybody who told me earlier on, like, I hope you're doing well. It's great to see you, Caleb. I just hope you're in good shape. I hope that, you know, your family's doing well. I hope you're safe. All of those things. I can't thank you enough for your love and your kindness over this period of time. Now, that same love and kindness you've shown me, I hope that you will carry it and have been continuing to do so. Carry that out into your daily lives, because right now more than ever, compassion and understanding, a listening ear, and a willingness to change is needed now more than ever. A willingness to embrace what might be uncomfortable. Thank you guys so much for a wonderful, wonderful evening. Like I said, my Twitch is in the description. Please, please, please come out and check it out. It's right here. I'm posting a lot of it. I think I'm also crashing my computer by doing that, but there's a link to that. I will be coming right back here in a little bit. Give me 5 minutes to wrap up, and I will see you guys in just a little bit. Much love to all of you. Stick with love, and I'll see you guys in just a sec.